and welcome to More Together with School District 25, where each week we'll take a deeper dive into some of the issues, accomplishments, news, and current events happening around our school communities. This is a chance for listeners to get to know the school district and learn more about the educational issues you care about the most. I'm Courtney Fisher, and joining me today is Victoria Byrd. Victoria is the Communications Director from McDonald's. She's active in our community and serves on several boards, including Leadership Pocatello and the DARE Board. Victoria has also served on the School District 25 Education Foundation for 7 years, and for the past year has served as board chair for the foundation. Victoria is joining me today to talk about the Education Foundation and Idaho Gives. So let's get to it. Victoria, welcome to the program, and thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Courtney.
Of course. So first, let's find out a little bit more about you. Can you please take a moment to share with our listeners a little bit more about yourself?
Absolutely. I think probably the most important thing is that I have lived in Pocatello my whole life, and I have a wonderful husband and 4 beautiful children, all boys who've all come through School District 25. I have a 2020 graduate who graduated from Century last year, and then I've got one in high school, one in middle school, and one in elementary. So the school district has been a very important part of our life for a very long time. Like you mentioned, I'm the communications director for McDonald's here in Pocatello and Chubbuck, and I have the best job in the world because I get to be involved with so many different wonderful organizations in the community and give my time and talents to them and learn and grow our community to make it the best it can be.
That's how I first met you. I would go to community events through my own job, and I would see you at every single one. So, I mean, definitely you're very involved in the community. I've talked about this on the program before. In addition to my role as communications specialist for School District 25, I'm also the executive director of the School District 25 Education Foundation. So I've been able to work very closely with you and our other directors on our goals and mission for the Ed Foundation. And even more importantly, figure out how we can together grow the impact on local education of our foundation. So to do this, it's really critical to surround yourself and ourselves with people who share a similar passion and vision for local education and the task at hand. And Victoria, you certainly fit the bill for that. So I want to know a little bit more about what prompted you to get involved with the Education Foundation and what keeps you inspired to stay involved.
Well, oddly, I was invited to be a part of the Ed Foundation years ago before I even knew that it existed. And I got just a random email inviting me to be to the board, and I actually called the school district because I thought it was like some kind of spam or something. But then I accepted because it was explained to me what the Education Foundation is and what the mission and purpose is and how it exists to serve the learners and educators here in the school district and helps to fill the needs that kind of get missed or, to supplement the things that are happening within the school district. And we have a lot more flexibility with some of the things that we can do. Our funds and things aren't necessarily earmarked or tied to very specific things. So we're able to step in to help fill those things that the teachers need within the classrooms, or if there's learning objectives that need extra funds. I love being able to help teachers have a way to be creative and to teach their learners in new ways.
Right, and that's such an important point because most of our state and federal funding has very specific earmarks that it and requirements that it has to be spent towards. So the Education Foundation really just helps fill in the gaps for some of those needs that arise throughout the year and also other projects that we define as a foundation that are important for us based on what we learn from the school district.
Absolutely, and giving an opportunity for business leaders and business owners and community members to be able to step in and help in ways, because it's not always items or physical things that need to be purchased. Sometimes it's knowledge or it's talk to us about this. And so being able to make those connections between the community and the school district has been another really important avenue that the foundation helps with.
Absolutely. Education Foundation serves as a real important bridge between the school district and the community. So that's one of the things I love the most about it. Is there any one program or accomplishment that stands out as a highlight to you?
My highlight would definitely be the Cake Awards that the Education Foundation has done for the last several years. And what the Cake Award is we give 2 awards out monthly, one to an elementary learner and one to a secondary learner. And it's based on characteristics that these students demonstrate. Character, attitude, kindness, engagement, encouragement, all of those wonderful things that aren't graded. And the teachers nominate their students, and I am so fortunate to sit on the committee that looks at all of those nominations. And it's always a very tough job to choose only 2 per level in school, because there's so many wonderful students and learners that we have in our community, and it's just such a highlight for me every month to see the wonderful things that are happening in our school.
Absolutely. It's a highlight for me too. I have the pleasure of introducing those Cake Awards and presenting them in front of the Board of Trustees for the school district at regular meetings every month. And it is such a joy to be able to read the stories, read the nominations, meet the learners, meet their teachers who nominated them, and then see our board congratulate them as they kind of move through the line. And one of my favorite things about the Cake Award is, and it's always a hit with the learner too, no matter how old they are, whether they're kindergarten or whether they're a senior getting ready to graduate, is that donation that McDonald's makes to the school library. And the student gets to pick out the book and sign their name in the book. And that is such a joy for that student. So I want to thank you as a representative from McDonald's for helping make that happen.
Oh, we feel very honored to be a part of that. And it's one of those things where it's not often that you get an opportunity to leave a legacy. And those students are getting that opportunity to choose the books that they would like to see in their library, and then be able to put their name in it and know that it'll be there for a good long time. Absolutely. And I think it's a great opportunity for them. Absolutely. And they're always so gracious and humble about when they hear what has been said about them. There's something very inspiring about watching those young people receive those awards.
Well, because of the nature of the award, the nominations always come from the heart. So that's one thing that I really appreciate about it. So that's one way we make an impact monthly in the school district. I want to talk just for a moment about a bigger impact that we make, and that's through the investment donation that we got several years ago from the Perkins family. And we have the Terry Perkins Educational Scholarship. Can you tell us just a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So that donation came to us several years ago, and it was completely by surprise. We didn't have a working relationship with the Perkins family, and they had their son that had this endowment, and he donated it to us in 2018. And it was donated in a trust, and it provides annual funding to support each of Pocatello-Chubbuck School District 25 high schools' music and debate programs, which are programs that are oftentimes scouring for funds to do inventive and creative things with their programs. The trust also allows for 2 $2,000 scholarships to each of the high schools, and next year we're excited that we'll be able to also offer a scholarship to New Horizons, which will be incredible. We're so excited about that.
I'm excited about that too. This year we are graduating 149 graduates from New Horizon High School, which is a record, and it's, these are learners of ours that are getting a second chance to have academic success. And so graduating 149 is a huge accomplishment. And so to be able to add a scholarship, we will now be giving 7 scholarships a year, a renewable scholarship that has the potential to be $4,000 toward that postgraduate education. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm very excited. And to see, like Courtney mentioned, it's a renewable scholarship. So it's neat to see that they have to continue to stay engaged with their college education in that second year, which has been great to see them come back and to report where they're at academically and the things that they're doing. And so it's really keeping them engaged with their education.
Absolutely. We just gave out our third series of awards, and there's only one student that hasn't met that criteria. So it's been really successful for us so far. So that's exciting. There's something else that's coming up that's really exciting, and that's Idaho Gives. And can you tell us a little bit more about Idaho Gives and what it means for the School District 25 Education Foundation?
Absolutely. So Idaho Gives is designated to bring the state together, and it's a fundraising event to raise money and awareness for Idaho nonprofits like School District 25 Education Foundation. And it's all based on online giving and donations through campaigns from each individual organization. And we're excited to be able to participate in this for the first time to bring awareness to the Education Foundation and raise funds for some of those efforts and things that we're trying to do within our school district. Like I mentioned, 7 years ago when I joined the board, it wasn't something that I even knew existed. And so our board has made our outreach and awareness one of our goals for the next couple years, to make sure that people know that there's an avenue and a way for them to donate to the school district and to do some really creative things within our classrooms.
Absolutely. I'm so excited about Idaho Gives because we were supposed to do it last year and we signed up, and then COVID hit, and really we had to completely divert all of our attention to just keeping people safe and figuring out what we were going to do to keep kids in school. So we bowed out last year, so this is the first year that we're going to be able to do it. And it's such a fun and festive way to get involved. And what I love the most about it is it's an opportunity to network with other nonprofits across Idaho, learn more about the important work that they're doing across our state, and also, like you said, gain a little bit of awareness about what we're doing with our own local community. So I'm really excited about it.
I agree. I think that there's so many wonderful people in the community that want to be able to give, and this makes it easy for people. You don't have to go to an event. You don't have to buy a fancy dress. You don't have to even leave your couch. It's easy to just donate online and to choose those organizations that fit with the things that you're passionate about. Our Education Foundation is so excited to be able to give people an opportunity to donate.
So when does it start?
So it starts April 29th and runs through May 6th. And May 6th is the big Idaho Gives Day, where there's a lot of social media things that are happening, lots of raffles and giveaways and incentives to donate, and there'll be a lot of fun that happens on May 6th.
So tell us, if you can, a little bit more about how Idaho Gives works.
Idaho Gives, like I said, is an online giving campaign, and it's usually just one day of giving, but this year Idaho Gives has extended due to COVID, so it'll be that week-long event. All giving is done online through the Idaho Gives website at idahogives.org. And once donators get to the Idaho Gives website, they can access our profile by searching School District 25 Education Foundation. It'll bring you to our landing page, and it has options for you to donate as far as money increments. And the really cool thing about that is we've tried to be very mindful about what those increments of donations actually do, so that as you're donating your dollars, you're able to see, oh, when I give $100, I'm actually able to fund a classroom grant, or I'm actually able to provide things for the hygiene closets and things at the schools to help provide for those immediate needs for our students. So once you get there, and you can choose either one of the prescribed dollar amounts, or you can choose your own and you can make your donation very simply that way.
Right. So that dollar amount is really important. Like you said, we just did STEM Up, that program, for the first time, and we were one of the major supporters of that program. And so we've assigned $150 with really those backpacks with the STEM Up kits for our K-5 learners through that STEM Up program. $150 would fund an entire classroom of those backpacks. And so you can see how your dollars and how far that they can go with some of those levels.
Right. And like donating to any larger organization, we're really able to maximize those dollars that are donated and put them to the best possible use. So often our teachers have an excess of rulers, but what they really need are scissors. And so we're able to use those funds to make sure that all those scissor needs are met.
Okay, so people can find out information and donate by locating Education Foundation on idahogives.org. Is that a page a good place for donors to find out more information about the Education Foundation?
Absolutely. Our profile page tells our story and highlights some of the programs and some of the neat things that our organization has done. Donors can also visit sd25.us/foundation to learn more about our organization.
Okay, so like I said before, one of my favorite things about Idaho Gives is that it really is so engaging, not just for the organizations that are involved, but also for the donors making contributions. So tell us a little bit more about how the Education Foundation is drumming up some excitement for its Idaho Gives campaign this year.
Yeah, one of the really exciting things is that we have a matching donation of up to $5,000 from Lookout Credit Union, and this match has the potential to double every dollar donated through Idaho Gives. So if you're thinking about doing a $100 donation, know that that $100 will turn into $200, and that's matched up to $5,000. Giveaways and challenges are also sponsored by Lookout Credit Union and McDonald's. So as we have people that are donating, we'll be doing random drawings and things for prizes to thank you for participating and being very generous.
Right. Lookout Credit Union has donated some swag. They just did a rebranding campaign, so they've got some really cool things like blankets and some really nice tumbler mugs and things that they've offered to donate us. They're also going to donate some $25 gift cards. So we'll just be choosing random times and making some really fun challenges for people to donate, to incite them to donate. So you might give a little something and get a little something at the same time.
Right. Who doesn't love that? And it's just fun. It's
Right.
fun to give. Everybody loves that warm, fuzzy feeling, and this is definitely one of those opportunities.
Absolutely. And it gives us a great opportunity to really have a meaningful partnership with our educational partners like Lookout Credit Union, like McDonald's. You guys are always there every step of the way for us for everything that we need to say, hey, we want to reach out and support either a program or whether it's support a teacher's classroom. It's so much fun to partner with organizations like you guys.
Well, and as an organization, it's wonderful to know that there's a trusted and very easy way to do that as well. The Education Foundation has been around for a long time and has done a lot of good and makes the process very simple.
Well, those relationships and those partnerships are very important to us. So we count on people like you and like the people at Lookout Credit Union, like BJ and Doug and Tips and their whole team. So we can't say how much more. I mean, you guys are just our educational partners, and we value that so much. Okay, so before we sign off, it's time to switch gears for just a moment. Part of the purpose of this podcast is for listeners to get to know the school district, our educational programming, and the people who work here, who learn here, and who volunteer here. So I asked these last 3 questions of each of my guests because they provide some insight into the minds and personality and passion of the guests. So please tell me, Victoria, what is the last book you read?
Does
What
that have to
are
be
you
a book?
reading now?
Can it be like Dipley or BuzzFeed?
Yes. What are you reading now, and what's up next in your to-be-read pile?
Oh, I joke. I actually do love reading, and I just finished a really amazing book called The Nickel Boys, and it's about a reform school that existed in the South, and it has just very interesting racial relationships, and it really gave me an opportunity to reflect on my own privilege and the things that I've not ever had to struggle for, and then the things that I've seen that I didn't even know were struggles for other people, and the stories and the things that have happened in the past, and how courageous people are to bring those to light and to speak their truth. And
Absolutely.
It's just been so inspiring.
You told
to
me about that book, and it's actually in my Amazon cart, in my to-be-saved pile.
It is not a light read at all, but it is just so beautifully written. It's
Those are the books I
wonderful.
tend to lean toward, though, are the kind of hard, tough reads.
Yeah, every now and then you need, a young adult read that you don't have to think about. You could just mindlessly, who doesn't love a good romance? But I love those books that make me self-reflect and think about why I believe what I believe, or make me question my thought process, and make me stop and really take a critical look at some of the things I think and say.
Absolutely, because even as adults, we can always expand our critical thinking skills, right? And get books that challenge our own preconceived ideas. And
Absolutely. And you and I have this conversation all the time that you don't know what you don't know. And when you do know, when you know more, do better.
Right.
And that's how I feel this book has inspired me to learn more and to do more and to be much more open-minded.
what are you reading now, and what's next?
Oh, right now I'm reading Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. I love Simon Sinek. He's my favorite leadership author. He writes Start With Why. I love that book.
Okay, that's the one I've heard about.
Yeah, Start With Why is amazing. And yeah, right now Leaders Eat Last, and it's about creating a culture of teamwork and an idea of people work better when they have a common goal and not pitting people against each other, and how competition works to divide, and how commonality brings us together and creates a space where you can be inventive and creative and do really amazing work. So I'm loving that.
Is there anything else you're looking forward to next?
So honestly, like, I would really just love to finish the Netflix series Schitt's Creek because, again, like, when you read really heavy stuff, or like the world feels so heavy, or you're going through, you know, so many things, it's so nice to just turn on something that's funny but also like thought-provoking in like a not aggressive way.
Absolutely. You haven't finished it yet?
No, I
You
have
need to
like
finish
6 episodes left.
And that's a good one because it's also filled with love. And I
Yes.
love stories that make you think. And even though it's lighthearted and there's levity and it's sort of mindless sometimes, it really is smart and intelligent in so many ways.
There's a beautiful family dynamic
Absolutely.
of support and love and acceptance, and I really love that program.
You need to finish it.
I do indeed.
I highly recommend. Put those books down and finish
I have
that series.
Courtney's approval.
So Victoria, I want to just thank you so much for joining me today. It really has been such a pleasure to get to know you and work with you very in-depth and intimately with the Education Foundation. You've been listening to More Together with School District 25 with today's guest, Victoria Byrd, chair of the School District 25 Education Foundation. To sum up, Idaho Gives begins Thursday, April 29th and ends on Thursday, May 7th. We hope our listeners will consider donating to the School District 25 Education Foundation. Even just a $10 donation helps. We're not looking for significant contributions.
Although we will accept them.
We will accept them, but they're not required. And $10 is the minimum amount that you can give. And those small gifts really add up to pretty substantial amounts most of the time.
To be more together.
To be more together, absolutely. Thank you for pulling in our School District 25 mission, because we really are better when we think more, learn more, and be more together. So Victoria, I want to thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you today. As always, it's always a pleasure working with you to fulfill the goals that we have for the Education Foundation. And just thanks for taking the time to be here today.
It's been a highlight of my day. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. Our mission at School District 25 is to think more, learn more, and be more together. If you enjoy this podcast, remember, check us out every Friday with a new episode available on our YouTube channel. And if you have an issue you'd like to hear more about, send your ideas or questions to communications@sd25.us.